While my husband was busy with his affair, I was busy moving his assets. Love? That was no longer part of the equation. The other day, my husband, Liam Carter, flaunted photos of Chloe, the college student he was sponsoring, in a wedding dress all over social media. I didn't have the meltdown everyone expected. Instead, I calmly liked the post and even left a comment. A match made in heaven, wishing the newlyweds a lifetime of happiness. Everyone in our social circle was gossiping behind my back, calling me the ultimate doormat of a wife, watching my husband stage a wedding with another woman without so much as a word of protest. A week later, Liam finally came home and fed me a well-rehearsed lie. It was just for show. Her grandfather is critically ill, and his dying wish was to see her get married. I looked up at him, my voice flat and devoid of any emotion. I know, I believe you, but only I knew this wasn't surrender. It was the cold, hard clarity that comes with a rebirth. This time around, I didn't want his love. I wanted him to pay, to be left with absolutely nothing. For every one of his indiscretions, I would quietly transfer a portion of his assets to an offshore account I'd set up in advance. I was keeping a silent tally in my head, 3 more times, and he'd be completely broke. I believe you. I watched Liam's face, a mask of feigned sincerity, my own expression perfectly calm. He studied me carefully, and seeing no trace of anger or accusation, the tension in his brow eased. He pulled me into his arms. Mia, I knew you'd be the most understanding. Chloe's so young, and with her grandfather's condition, I just couldn't say no. I leaned against his chest obediently, but inside I was scoffing. Liam seemed to be in a great mood. He suddenly remembered something, his voice taking on a deliberately gentle tone. By the way, today is our 3rd wedding anniversary. I'll make it up to you. I promise I'll spend the whole evening with you. No interruptions. He held up 3 fingers as if swearing a solemn oath. I curved my lips into a submissive smile. Okay, whatever you say. My compliance made Liam drop his guard completely. He turned to start preparing his anniversary surprise. I pulled out my laptop and opened the interface I already had prepared. Liam, with that social media post, you've just used up your first chance. My fingers flew across the keyboard. In just a few minutes, assets in his name, his luxury home, his high-end cars, totaling over 30 million, were all transferred into my offshore trust fund. I picked up the cold coffee on my desk and took a small sip. The bitter taste that spread across my tongue was grounding, exhilarating. At 7 that evening, Liam took me to the Summit restaurant. Beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows, the entire city's lights spread out below us, a romantic and lavish display. He pulled out my chair like a gentleman, his smile warm. Let's eat first. I have a big surprise for you later. I had just cut a small piece of steak when his phone rang. It was the custom ringtone he had set exclusively for Chloe. The color drained from Liam's face as he immediately answered the call. Chloe's tearful voice came through the receiver. Liam, my grandpa was just rushed to the emergency room. I'm so scared. Can you please come be with me? Clutching the phone, Liam's eyes darted nervously toward me. I set down my knife and fork and watched him quietly, offering no questions, no resistance. After only a few seconds of hesitation, he spoke into the phone. Don't be scared. I'm on my way. Hanging up, he stood and looked at me apologetically. Mia, Sophie's, go. I cut him off calmly. Someone's life is on the line. Don't keep her waiting. Liam was completely stunned. He had clearly come prepared with excuses for my expected tantrum, my tears, my questions. He was probably even ready to scold me. He never anticipated I would be this calm, even urging him to leave. A flicker of unease crossed his mind, but was quickly replaced by his concern for Chloe. Mia, you're the best. He leaned down and pressed a kiss on my cheek. You go ahead and eat. The surprise is all set up. I'll have my assistant take you home when you're done. With that, he grabbed his coat and left without a backward glance. I took out a wet wipe and scrubbed at the spot on my cheek, feeling nothing but disgust. I wasn't about to let